Veronica Sets Josh Up is a really brilliant episode of Veronica's Closet. It's the 18th episode of the third season, and there will be spoilers from now as I discuss what happens in this one. The first thing that comes out of Veronica's mouth establishes the narrative immediately, and she says, "I can't believe Josh came out at his own wedding." Very clearly summing up what happened in the previous episode. And Josh seems to be handling this less well than Chloe is, because we cut almost immediately after to a scene in Josh's apartment where he is tied up with what I think is like phone cable, the curly cables, and Chloe is smashing things. But this is what Josh is making her do, because, as he explains, he wants to feel the pain that he caused Chloe. So he's making her cause him that pain, but she doesn't want to do it, which I think is very admirable. And then Josh goes to the office, and it's his first day out, and we have a lot of different responses from everybody in the office, and this is what the episode is mostly about. It's partly about Josh coming to terms with the fact that he is now out and what that will look like for him, and whether he feels ready to tell everybody or if he wants to take it a little bit more slowly. But it's also about how other people are responding to this, because everybody has a different reaction. And I think it's a great way to show that actually there are right ways and wrong ways to behave when somebody tells you that they're gay. And I don't necessarily think it was a great idea for Olive and Ronnie to immediately jump into trying to set him up, but that's what they're doing in the episode, and they both think they're going to set him up with the perfect person. They have a bit of a rivalry going on. It works well enough, but it's too much too soon for Josh. I think had they waited a couple of episodes, it might have been a little bit better. It might have been something Josh was on board with. So we definitely see Josh's reaction to that with the whole hanging up of the pictures ruse. I think that all played out quite well. And then June is just June. She's just happy to go along with what everybody else is doing. But Leo and Perry don't handle things very well. They thought they were doing a good thing, because Josh did actually say he kind of wished that everybody just knew about it, so he could get it out in the open, didn't have to worry about telling people. But obviously that doesn't mean he wants to go and shout it from the rooftops. You can want everybody to know while also still being scared of telling people. But Leo and Perry took this as a sign to send out a memo to the entire office to tell them, I'm laughing because it's ludicrous, to tell them that Josh is gay. Of course that's ridiculous, but they thought they were doing a good thing, so can we really be annoyed at them? Unfortunately, Josh is obviously not happy about this, so they send a second memo to retract it, which is, in a way, worse. I'd say that's probably worse, because that's deep level meddling, and obviously Josh's response to that is what one would expect. June kind of misunderstands and thinks that Josh is literally only gay evenings and weekends, but straight at the office. We do get some comedy out of June's response to that. That's kind of the role she plays in this, whereas Olive, Veronica, Leo and Perry have roles that more so focus on how not to respond in this kind of situation. I love Josh. I love stories that focus on Josh. And honestly, I didn't expect this to happen. I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous discussion, but while I always thought that Josh was a closeted gay, I genuinely thought that maybe he was bisexual, he would marry Chloe, everything would be fine. And it turns out that actually that's not the case. But as Chloe pointed out, it's better to find out now than 10 years down the line once they've tried to make a good life together. And I think that that's a really sensible way of looking at it. I imagine in reality, if this happened, it would be destroying to find out on your wedding day that your partner is gay. And as I said, I think Chloe handled things in a way that I wasn't expecting. But I think we get a lot of different perspectives here, a lot of emotional responses, and ultimately I think the episode is doing a really brilliant thing, both in highlighting that there are right and wrong ways of behaving in this kind of situation, but also in showing that the person who has just come out as gay is going to have a lot of conflicting feelings, as we see with Josh wanting everybody to know, but also wanting to take it at his own pace, and not wanting Leo and Perry to send out a memo to the whole office. So I have a lot of appreciation for this episode. I think it's doing a really great thing. And ultimately, I thought Veronica Sets Josh Up was pretty great.